Let's talk about the team that Jeff predicted to win Super Rugby in 2024, and we're talking about the Crusaders. JK's laughing, but yes, you're right. It has been 1996, the first year of the competition since the Crusaders dropped 3 straight. But
98.
How far off the pace are they really?
98.
They nearly beat the Chiefs. They had a slip up against the Waratahs, and let's be honest, no teams win in Fiji. Are they really that far off the pace?
I spoke to Marshy last night because Wayne Smith told me they lost 9 in a row or 7 in a row in 98, and I confirmed it last night with Marshy. They lost 7 in a row and won the competition in 98 because Blues won at 95, 96.
96, 97.
So they can lose another 4 matches and still win this competition.
I reckon there is a little bit of a crisis, if I can have my 2 cents worth. I have never seen them, in Melbourne they were really inaccurate, stuff that I'm not used to seeing. When I talked about, you know, the Reds being accurate, there were little things they weren't doing. They were missing clean outs. There was just some stuff that I reckon they need to at least have a mini emergency meeting this week.
It's a hard one, right? Because when they get in these sort of situations, they haven't sort of won. They've had a nucleus of guys that have been there and sort of been in that position, and sort of then they've got themselves out of it. They've got a new coach. So important for a coach to sort of stay in there with Rob Penny, but also guys coming back. You still got to remember there's some very important guys that sort of, you know, Havili's a big one, right? And he will make a massive difference, and particularly when you got youngsters in there with Taha and the halfback sort of pairing. I mean, Hines was picked this week, but a couple little wee changes, and they're a different team.
How long before they put David Havili in at 10 to start? For the last 2 weeks, he's moved there around the 60-minute mark.
Well, it's a hard one. I mean, this is what Rob will have to sort of ponder. The fact that do you steal it up? And I think they probably need a little bit more control. But the youngsters that they've got there, I mean, it starts up front, and that's where they're possibly not winning. They're not as accurate as they have been in the past, and that's where they're going to get. But it is. It's only round 3.
I don't want Havili at 10. Full stop. He's like our All Black 12 or 13. So I want him playing there. Like putting him in as it's just, I don't think it's the answer. I agree that they need to get some players back, but I think they've got a lot of work to do. And think about the next, what's their next draw?
They've got the Hurricanes next.
And after that, the Blues. And?
So you tell us.
Another New Zealand team.
Oh, look, there's no doubt. There's no doubt they're in trouble. When I selected them at the start of the season, before we'd even begun, I looked at their squad and looked at what they had. If you already look at who hasn't played and who's not going to be there, and that was before the news that Will Jordan was going to be out for the season. So their most dangerous and influential back is now out of the picture, not going to play, and looks as though he's going to miss the early games of the All Blacks, right? So he's gone. No Cody Taylor. Doesn't look as though he's going to be part of their campaign until later on. I think I've heard April, May, that he's coming back into the fold. So you're taking your starting hooker, who has been outstanding for the last 2 years, and you're taking their best player, their most attacking weapon at fullback, and a lot of their experience, and they haven't got experience to replace it with. So you've got 2 critical players there, and then Fergus Burke ruled out or is not coming back till later on in the season. He's not back till April, so he was the guy, the experienced 10 that you thought you might be able to call on. So for me, no Braden Enor. So there's a lot of things that they didn't have, and
Blackadder.
No, exactly,
Blackadder.
So,
there's no Whitelock and Moanga going forward. We know that. That's not going to be there. But ultimately, I still think they're going to be part of the picture later on in the season. But what's crucial for them now, these early losses means that it gets really difficult to control your destiny in terms of home field advantage.
And they love the home field advantage.
And they're great at home.
Goldie,
so
if they lose the next 3 against the
they're not going to lose.
It's just about impossible, I bet.
Well,
so I reckon
this is the biggest month.
Are you saying if they make the playoffs, they can't win?
No, of course they can win, mate. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that they're not playing well, and they've got 3 derbies coming up. Is it 3? I'm pretty sure it is. And if you don't win those, man, it's going to be a hard run through.
But it's not necessarily over, is it, Jeff? You'll be able to tell us how many games can they lose and still make the 8. The Highlanders were an example of this a couple of years ago. You can still make the 8 even if they drop 7, 8 matches throughout the season. Win the Australian games.
It's just for them right now.
It's controlling
all of a sudden controlling their destiny, which they've done so very well up until now. Their streak was about the fact they got the controlling home field advantage. And then when they had to win one big one away, they were able to do that. Look, I'm not saying it's over.
No,
What
to
I'm
be
saying
fair, mate,
it's just getting harder every week.
To be fair, I'd never write them off.
No,
and I don't want them to go badly, believe it or not.
But I'm not.
Unless they play the Blues.
Good to hear, JK.
However, I think that the next 3 weeks are really critical.
Crucial.
I can see right now, I'm not picking them now to win Super Rugby.
You're not.
Oh, 3 weeks
No, I'm
in.
not. I'm not
You
picking
just
them
said,
now.
can't change-
you just said
can't
it's
change
only
in
round
round
3.
Hold on, that's where you can change because
Well-
circumstances change
Oh,
with
is it-
teams.
who
If
is
you
it that
lose
wins
2 or
for you
3
now,
players to
Steve?
injury, no, I'll stay with the bandwagon. No, you don't. You go to the team that's best qualified.
But you just said
and
it's...
can-
Who
I'm not
knows
saying
it?
they can't. I'm
Round
saying I'm
3.
not picking.
I'm going to change in round 18. I'll change my pick in round 18, mate.
Mills
No,
might enter the
no,
guy that
mate,
doesn't
you're
make a
changing
pick.
change
Who
the
hasn't
rules.
made a pick yet? You picked 2 teams.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're
I
the
told you
Chiefs
he
and
was
the Blues.
grumpy.
So you picked the Chiefs and Blues. It's
Okay.
fluid, man. It's fluid. You've
Okay.
got